we're doing another one of these bad boys. So this week I chose to do movie of the day every day for this week, and just record or illustrate like a scene from a movie that I think has, artistic merit. I don't know. So my friend Amanda suggested this scene from The Notebook, which had like strong Little Mermaid vibes to me. You can see that I paused at this moment because my dog was crying and I had to get him a toy. So that's why. Here I go, back at it again. I've only seen this movie a couple times because I just can't. It's an emotional movie. If you've seen I'm sure you've seen The Notebook. I'm sure you've seen it. This picture though was a little different for me. I felt like I had to kind of go more artsy, like blocky almost, just because there's so many little details in it, and I wasn't about to spend 8 hours drawing movie of the day. So, but I'm happy with how it turned out. I think that she looks a little bit more matronly than I was hoping. But, you win some, you lose some, it's fine. But I think I killed Noah's look. I think I killed it. I did. So the cool thing about this movie, I could be wrong, but I believe that both of these actors are from Ontario, Canada. Which, yeah. Good job, guys. You did it. You arrived. Ryan Gosling and... oh my gosh, I just forgot her name. Rachel McAdams. Great actors. I liked Rachel McAdams in Morning Glory with Harrison Ford. It was a really good movie. And, Ryan Gosling in everything he does. He's a fun actor to watch. So, yeah, okay. You can see that I just adjusted the position of the head. I think that she's trying to talk to him and not reading a book. I can't remember. So, I think, I'm trying to work out, my perspective. I just did a drawing the other day of Tanya from American Tail, Life Goes West, and I did the background and I really softened it up, and I really think it helped with the perspective. So I think that I'm gonna start playing around with that a little bit more. The background is so important. It's such an important part of the illustration. But you can see in the original picture that there's some trees that almost just faint blurs. And I don't think I really did that justice here. I didn't want it to look like a horror scene. I didn't want it to look like a swamp. But it's fine. And this brush that I've been using, I don't remember where I got it. It was a download, but it's like a grease paint, it's called. So it really moves really nicely. I really enjoy it. Yeah, so I don't really have anything specific to talk to you about today. I know these movies. I know these clips are a little long, but I find them relaxing to do. And I don't know, maybe there's someone else that does too. But this week's kind of been weird. I was all gung-ho thinking I was going to get a part-time job this week, and I found this one job that's got really great hours for me because I can still work it and then keep going freelance on my own. Just money is running out. So yeah, I don't like that position, but just not really the look at that little ducky's funny face. It's not the card that I've been dealt today. So I went to applied online, and I don't trust online applications that they go through. And I didn't, they're not hiring right now, which is confusing to me because it said that they were online. Anyway, so it wasn't meant to be for that. Then I thought, let's apply at Starbucks. Anyone can work at Starbucks. Just kidding. They don't want me to work at Starbucks. So yeah, just gonna have to like, I don't know. I have a couple jobs this week I get to do, artsy fartsy jobs. Yeah. It's just hard when you don't have like a set income, you know? But I think that's just part of like going for what you want to do, and like trusting that God's gonna like provide. Yeah. I don't know. I've always felt like dreams like this are like not something that will happen for me, which is, I know that's not necessarily true, but it's just like you ever see the movie He's Just Not That Into You. It's like one of my go-to movies. There's like the girl that like goes online to date and like finds a guy, and he's just this amazing thing and everyone loves him and he's just awesome. And then you as the outsider are looking and going, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go online date because she found that, so then I'm gonna do that, right? But there's the thing that says no, because she's the exception. The rule is that if you go date someone online, it's not gonna end well, which is true. We've all tried it. It doesn't end well. So that's how I feel with this whole thing. Like, I go on YouTube and I watch these people that are like doing TED Talks and like, I met a guy at Walmart and he liked me and I work for Disney. And I'm like, yeah, man, wow. But it's like, Sarah, he's the exception. You have to just, you know, keep working, keep pushing, because maybe one day you'll be the exception, but today you're not. You're the rule. And the rule says that you need money. So, you know, I don't know. Just kind of like one of those weeks, you know? So I draw these little swannies. I don't know if these are swans or ducks or geese. I think they're probably geese, which makes the scene even more terrifying. Have you ever seen the inside of a goose mouth? Google that. Just Google that. You will not thank me. Yeah. So, anyway, I didn't mean to be a downer. I'm good. I'm okay. Just one of the cards that I gotta deal with. Life. Hoping that maybe sometime soon I can go to Florida, you know, with the money that I don't have, and go to Disney World. I just think that'll make just everything so much better. Maybe it won't, but chances are it will, because it usually does. I love Disney World. I started listening to this podcast this week called The Happiest Podcast on Earth. This is that new brush. This is that new brush that I love. I just did a drawing the other day about Nana Thromby from Knives Out, and I used this brush, and I was very, very happy with it. It kind of almost has like an ink vibe to me, like if I was using a ink pen, like almost not a calligraphy pen, but like a brush with ink on it. I don't know. Like, it's not like paint. You can see. You've got two eyes. Oh, what was I saying? I forgot. Oh, yeah. The Happiest Podcast on Earth. Started listening to it, and it just talks about Disney, and I really enjoy it. I feel like in another time, I should have been American, because I love it. I love the States. I love the US. I'm sure there's things about it that aren't peachy perfect, you know? But I mean, there's things about Canada that aren't perfect either. So maybe one day I'll end up in the States. I don't know if people that live in America call the States, but I do. So I'm sorry. Foreigner. I lived in Texas for a year. Just shy of a year. When I was 18. And I loved it. I loved every second. I love the weather. I don't know. I don't know, there's nothing really foreign about living in America. It's just the idea, like in Canada, I mean, honestly, I'm not really giving Canada a fair swing at it, because I've only really ever been to Quebec and Ontario. I think that's it. Like, I haven't really been to a lot of other provinces. I mean, I've been to Ottawa, but does that really count because it's so close to Quebec? I don't think it counts. So, but I feel like when you're in the US of A, like, you have so many options. Like, I could go to Hawaii and I'd still be in the United States, you know? I can go to Florida. I could go to LA. I could go to Colorado. I could go to Washington, you know? Every state is just so different. I've been to I've driven through quite a few states. We would go to Florida when I was younger, and I drove, to get to Texas, I drove. So you go through like Arkansas, excuse me. Something that I never understood was Texarkana. Never understood that. I think it's in the state line between Arkansas and Texas. I don't know, but it's a weird little thing, Texarkana. Anyway, here you can see the trees. I tried to get this done as quickly as I could. I think it took me 2 hours and 20 minutes. But there was a lot of stopping and going. I was eating ice cream. I was watching a crime doc, you know. Just your normal Wednesday night. Started watching The Twilight Zone on CBS. What's his name? I forget his name. He did Get Out, and he did... I think it's... I'm gonna Google it. I think it's Jordan Peele. Yeah, it's Jordan Peele. So he's kind of a little bit more on the thriller side, you know, but they just did one with Adam Scott, who I'm a big fan of from Parks and Rec. Big old fan. I like him. I feel like he's always the same character. You know, he always has like a little bit of a Ben side to him. But yeah, a couple of them, like, they're decent. There's a little bit of swearing in them, but they do a really good job kind of getting the Twilight Zone feel. And he's the one, like, Jordan Peele's the one that does the whole, what was the original Twilight Zone guy's name? I'm gonna Google it. This is such a weird video. Thank you for watching. What's the original guy's name? Rod Serling. I was gonna say Rip Kipling. That's not right. Rod Serling. So he's very, like, Jordan Peele does a really good job at being, like, kind of a Rod Serling kind of character. But there was one called 30,000 feet, or something like that. And Adam Scott was in it, and he was listening to a podcast on a plane, and it was basically just, like, revealing, like, the demise of the flight that he was on. Which I love that. I love podcasts, and I felt like I could, like, totally, you know. But before he went on the flight, his wife told him not to go, and he didn't listen. So, moral of the story, kids. If you don't want to go to the Twilight Zone, listen to the women in your life. So, this water, I want to learn how to illustrate water better. Because there's always, like, the streaks, but then there's just these, like, little teeny dots. Like, if you look at, like, an ocean, there's, like, these little teeny dots of light, which you'll see towards the end, I do. That I think is just very, like, just really shows you the feel of the water. Like, yes, they're in, like, a canopy of trees, but there's also sunlight, like, beaming through. So in the original drawing, though, the water was really, like, blasted out by the sun, like, overexposed almost. And I tried to do that, but I didn't feel like it really fit the tone, I think is what I'm trying to say. You can see I started to try those little fleckies. And then I get all into blending, as you know. Ugh, I shouldn't do that, but I do. I'm really hoping the movies open up That would be my dream. I would love to work at the theaters and just, I love movies. I think it's all I talk about. I've been reading a book lately called Nerves of Steel by Tammy Jo Schultz. I'm really digging it. My mom lent me it to borrow to read. I like her. She's the kind of woman I wish I could be. Like, doesn't take no for an answer. Just does what she feels like she's supposed to do confidently and knows what she's supposed to do. I don't know. So many times I just feel like I'm just riding the wave of life and I'm not really sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing or where I'm supposed to be, or, you know? Which, I mean, you know, I guess it's just like, gotta give myself some credit too. I've done a lot in the last few years, like, lived on my own, moved away. That's it. Oh man. I'm feeling kind of pensive today, which is fine. I just wish I could just like get on a plane and just go. I posted this video like 4 years ago. It's like this like cabana in the Maldives, and it's completely surrounded by water. Basically just like living out on a pontoon of a cabin, kind of, but you're more anchored into the ground. It's just like completely the blue water. There's like a hammock coming off the sides, and there's like shallow, like glassy blue water. It's so great. And then that's where I want to be. Like, I want to read my books. I want to draw. I don't have to worry about anything, you know? See those little flecks? Doesn't it just make it so much more alive? I don't know. It's that light. It's like the reflective light. This is the boat. So this boat is white, but then the swans are white. So I kind of just dulled it up a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of reading. Sitting outside and reading. Because I don't get Wi-Fi outside. Just kidding. Just kidding. I like reading. If you have any good books, let me know. This is a weird thing. So her skin tone was kind of like pink, like bright pink. Which I think in the end it almost works, just because the way that the light is kind of casting on them. I try to stay as true to the colors as I can. Tonight I'm gonna do My Neighbor Totoro, which is such a weird movie. Oh my gosh. I watched it with my friends the other night on Zoom. That's a weird thing to do, watch a movie on Zoom with your friends. Yeah, it's studio, okay, it's either Ghibli or Ghibli, I don't know. Don't come at me. Oh my gosh. Wow, I'm yawning a lot today. But the movie is spastic, and, you know, I think that's what they're known for, though, is doing movies that are more like, the timelines are more organic. I think I've heard that they don't really know what the storyline is going to be until they're, like, unraveling it, which is cool, I guess, in theory. They focus on, like, the most random things. Like, you'll just be watching the movie, and then there'll be a scene where a toad is just, like, crawling across the ground. You're like, okay, how does this apply to the scene that's happening? But really, nothing really applies to the scene. You know? So, I don't know. I like doing the movie of the day. I was thinking about next week doing like a song like illustrating a song, what would be a good example? Okay, Hamilton's coming out July 3rd, Disney Plus. So I could do like a song from Hamilton and like illustrate it as I'm listening to it. Do you know? Does it make sense? So the one song that I feel like is very like I can see it is all of them, but specifically like the room where it happens. I love the cabinet battle. I love. See, this is where I try to blast out the water, but I just feel like it's too offensive. It's taking away. So I do like dull it out a little bit with some like shadows. I mean, it looks okay, I guess. Try to blend it, didn't work. Welcome to the process. But if you look in the drawing, the water is more behind the trees. So it would have been softer. So that was just on me, I guess. Even the swans, like, or whatever they are, the geese. Oh. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm so sorry. I had 7 hours of sleep. I have no excuse. I don't know. I think Bath and Body Works is hiring, so I might apply Bath and Body Works. But I just want like a little, like if I needed to get a job, I just wanted, oh yeah, see, I made them a little bigger to make them more proportion to the boat because they were just little tiny babies. I just want a job where I can, and that's what I liked about that one position, that it was, I think I would go in at 5 and I'd be done before 10 a.m. every day. And I just loved that idea because then I wouldn't really be working. I'd have my whole day free, you know? Working at retail, it's just like, you're there. And that's where I would want to be working. I work better in the mornings anyway, I think. When nobody's around, I just kind of putz. I don't know. But, you know, I think it just kind of shows, like, if I really believe in what I'm doing, like, sometimes you just have to do the scary stuff. It's not all going to come together right away. I can't expect to be working full-time hours right away. Plus, this is, like, a weird season because nobody really knows what they're doing, like, financially right now anyway, because of, you know, the corona. This is kind of cool. I find that the swans in the back look a little bit more, like, they're not, like, as shapely, as formed, as, I don't know. But they work, you know? And that's the cool thing, like, your brain puts it together. Like, I didn't do a great job on these geese boys, but you know that they are what they are, right? My iPad is getting so full of files. I think it's a 64 gig and it's like almost completely full. I think every day I have to delete. But it's my Procreate. I have so many files in there. I have to get like a external hard drive or something. Little orange beaks. This reminds me of, I don't know if you live in Southern Ontario. What was that place called? Greenview Avery's. They used to have these like black geese, black swans, I don't know, with these like red beaks. I remember them when I was younger. I used to be so scared of them. But also I wanted to feed them. So I don't know, for me, I'll look at all of them. Someone call Alfred Hitchcock because the birds are loose. But if I was sitting in a boat completely engulfed by geese, I would not be, I wouldn't be that comfortable. So this kind of worked. This was a great way where the copy and paste tool really came through for me big time. Instead of having to draw hundreds of geese. Not really. But I think I just erased some of them because I don't think that, like, they're too mirrored. Like, you can see the one on the right. I think I might be getting rid of it in a second. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. The one with the wonky neck and no beak. But anyway, it's all gonna be okay. I'm gonna be alright. I'm not ready to give up yet. Not today. Maybe next week. We'll see. I look up these jobs online and they're like in Waterloo and Markham, and like I didn't know Ottawa has like a branch where Disney does animation for like Netflix films, but I don't know animation. I've never done it before, and even like illustration I'm still like fairly new at, so I just feel very much like, ugh, like the word I think is small. Like I just feel so small. Like I want to be really great and I want to, yeah, but like, I don't know. Am I really just supposed to just work at a retail for the rest of my life and just do this on the side, and is that going to be okay? Yeah, I don't know. This is where I add the shadows and do my standard blocking of dark layer and masking the, you know what I'm saying? I think I add even more than this. I like this color though. This taupey kind of color really warms up the illustration, and then I blast it with some black. My dog is crying. He wants to come in. He has to wait. You know, he's scratching at the door. That's awesome. This is something that I Procreate on Instagram. They do like little tutorials every once in a while, which I really love. So this is something that I saw where you just like blur out some like blobs of brushed color, and it gives it like a glow kind of, which I really like that. I think it does, you know, it adds, okay? So, yeah, I'm seeing like a little bit of growth in my stuff. I mean, I've blurred them out a little bit. I felt like they weren't really in focus in the original illustration. Even just being able to look at a picture and like duplicate it in my own style is like cool to me. Never thought I could do something like that. So just can't sweat the small stuff. I know. Preaching to the choir. So Father's Day is this Sunday. Our church has opened up again, which is nice. So we're doing the whole social distancing thing. We have markers where the chairs are supposed to be, and that's good. But, I mean, it's not the same. We can't have cookies and coffee, and we can't, you know, really hang out and talk, but at least it adds the church element back to my life. So I'm glad about that. What am I doing here? What am I doing now? Oh, I'm trying to add some like highlights to their faces and stuff to make it, I just felt like they were kind of like absent from the picture. They weren't really living, you know? Does that make sense? You can see though how the like little flecks in the water really like bring out the concept of light. I always like bump down my opacity. Like I always forget that my opacity is down. And I'm like going to draw. What is happening? Here I come in, bringing in that luminance brush. I think that's the light pen. I am a big fan. Probably could have done it without the light pen, but you know, this does have a very Little Mermaid vibe to it. Very strong Little Mermaid vibe. Maybe they were trying to do that. I like this movie. The ending was sad. I can't just watch this movie though, just as like a, you know, just as like a, hey, let's put a movie on. Okay, great, you know. It's too sad. I don't like feeling. I'm just kidding. See those little orbs? That was part of a Procreate tutorial as well. And then you use your blurs and your overlay to kind of give it more of like a, almost like a dust, kind of like dust in the air kind of look, you know? And then this is my light Gotta love it. Adjust it in the saturation, hue saturation panel. Gotta add my little cue. Boop. Oh, okay. I've been doing TikTok this week. I know, I shouldn't be on TikTok, I'm 30. But it's been fun, and they don't know how old I am because I'm just drawing, right? So, it's fine. I'm not a boomer yet, right? Right? So this is my finished illustration. Yeah, thanks for staying tuned this long, listening to my rambles. If you want to see more, you can follow me on Instagram. And I'm on TikTok now, and YouTube, obviously. And I think that's all. I have an Etsy page as well. Quinning at Life for everything. So if you go to my Instagram, you can find all of my links in my link tree. Thanks for staying tuned. And remember, if you are having a week like me, it's not over. Just keep wishing and hoping and praying. The song. Anyway, this was fun. Hope you have a good day. And yeah. Thanks a lot, man.